when doing chesed for other people, you have to make a major distinction between doing chesed and being taken advantage by people. They're not the same necessarily. Chesed is when, fine, you're doing something for another person which they cannot do on their own, and they need your help. That's understood. That's chesed, right? When I can do something, it's within my reach and capabilities and capacity to do this item, helping another person that cannot do that, for sure it's a mitzvah. However, there is a second case where people take advantage of you. In other words, the person, after seeing that you are readily able to help them in a specific matter that they could not do and you could help them in, so in future cases, instead of using their maximum capabilities to do what they have to do, instead they slacken because they know they can rely on you or other people. So this is being taken advantage of. And sometimes you can begin to sense when you're doing chesed and when you're being taken advantage of. So you might think that even being taken advantage of, if I can help the other person, great, it's a mitzvah. But there's one thing to remember, that when you are being taken advantage of other people to help them, because they are not doing their fullest to come to that, and they could technically, and you sense that they could and they're not, so you are basically becoming technically like a slave to that person. You are made to feel that you owe this person and you owe that person and you have to help them out, and by all this feeling a type of a guilty feeling that you have to help these people, because you have a type of rahman, you have a type of compassion for them, but you know that it's 100% on their part also, that they're beginning to take advantage of you and you're being used, and eventually it can lead to a point where you become so stressed up that you lose out in the end by helping these people who are really taking advantage of you, okay? Whether they're doing it willingly or unwillingly. Sometimes a person unwillingly also takes advantage of you. They're not aware of this. They have to be made known that they can't just rely on you always and not do their job. A person only learns to become who he really is by going through tight situations and difficulties and going through them. But when a person has a crutch, then whenever it's a difficult situation, he turns to this person, so he loses that opportunity of building who he really is supposed to come potentially to actual, right? So going back, when you become overwhelmed because you are helping people who are taking advantage of you, you are losing out the opportunity to become who you really are, because by you giving of yourself to areas which are not fully necessary, that same energy could have been used to develop who you are. So when people are taking advantage of you, it is basically harming you. You're losing out. You might think, I'm helping him out, it's chesed. You might justify what you're doing. Who else can help him? If I don't help him, no one else is going to help him. But on the other hand, you're being taken advantage of. You're like a slave for that person. And that is not chesed. Chesed, again, is when unexpectedly a person, unexpecting your help, turns in a situation towards you and you're out there to help them. But if now it becomes routine, right, and they're counting on you and you feel it, and you feel it's not a mitzvah anymore because they can do better, again, if you feel that, sometimes you don't feel it, sometimes you feel like a pauper coming to you every month for help and support. You know the person's struggling situation. You know it's hard for him to improve. You understand that he's doing his maximum. You have to use your judgment when you're being taken advantage of, when it's chesed. But know that when you're being taken advantage of, then you are actually losing potential of who you really are. So you have to make the differentiation. And it also, when giving in to being taken advantage of, that also is a reflection of, an indication of a lack of self-confidence. That you feel, again, subordinate to the other person. You feel you owe that person to help him and everything, and to do that, you don't owe anybody in life except for Hashem. This applies even within a family. A parent doesn't owe anything to his kids. A spouse doesn't owe anything to the other. You don't owe anything to anybody. You owe only to Hashem. Hashem is the one who put you in this world for a mission, and your goal is to return your experience in this world in the format that Hashem wants it back from you. It's a halva'ah, Rav Nosson explains in the Likutei Halachot. This world, everything that you've been given to partake of this world is a loan. And what's the loan on condition? That you bring it back in the format that Hashem wants it back. What is that format? In the format of Torah and mitzvot. If it's, for example, saying blessings over the food that you eat of this world, that's how Hashem wants back the energy that He's given to you in this world. So again, you don't owe anything to anybody. You are not allowed to have anyone, no one is allowed, in other words, to have you feel guilty because of them. No one. Even governments or electricity or this, rent bills, any situation, scenario or person has no right to take advantage of you and to make you feel that you owe them. You do your best, but if it makes you begin to feel guilty and bad and that you owe the person and you feel like a slave, that is wrong.